In a world constantly pushing us toward achievement, success, and self-improvement, we often feel trapped by an insatiable drive to be more and do more. Jennifer Breheny Wallace's Never Enough explores this deeply ingrained feeling of inadequacy that fuels so much of modern life, examining why it exists and what it truly costs us. She delves into how the pressure to have it all and be enough is not just a personal struggle, but a collective experience shaped by cultural expectations, social comparison, and our relentless pursuit of perfection. Wallace begins by dissecting the societal factors that contribute to this widespread sense of insufficiency. She introduces the concept of conditional self-worth, which means that a person's value is seen as dependent on their accomplishments, accolades, or social status. This culture of conditional worth is fueled by social media, consumer culture, and societal narratives that equate value with visible success. For example, Wallace explains how social media algorithms are designed to highlight people's most polished, curated lives, creating a constant sense of comparison. When we see only the highlights of others' lives, the dream jobs, perfect families, luxurious vacations, it's easy to feel that our own lives pale in comparison, that we're somehow lacking. This social comparison often sparks a cycle of self-doubt and a nagging feeling of never quite measuring up. Wallace doesn't just blame individuals for being overly ambitious or perfectionistic. Instead, she places much of the blame on a society that constantly reinforces unrealistic standards. She introduces the metaphor of the achievement treadmill, where people constantly run, striving for the next goal or milestone, only to find another one waiting as soon as they reach it. This treadmill is exhausting, yet many stay on it because stepping off feels like admitting defeat or failure. Wallace uses real-life examples to illustrate this, such as individuals who chase career success only to find that every promotion or award feels empty, as it leads to another seemingly endless stretch of the path. One poignant story Wallace shares is of a young woman who landed her dream job at a prestigious firm right after college. On the outside, she had everything: success, admiration, a lucrative salary. But internally, she felt unfulfilled and disconnected. She confided to Wallace that she constantly questioned if she was ever good enough, fearing that any mistake would unravel her achievements. This example speaks to a core theme in the book. The more we tie our worth to external achievements, the more we lose sight of our intrinsic value and our true selves. Another powerful concept Wallace addresses is the role of family and upbringing in shaping our self-worth. Many parents, driven by love but also by societal pressures, unknowingly reinforce achievement-oriented values in their children, equating success with happiness. Wallace explains how phrases like, "I'm proud of you for getting that A," or "You're so talented for winning that award," can lead children to associate love and approval with accomplishments rather than personal worth. She shares the story of a teenager who excelled academically and athletically, always seeking his parents' approval. However, when he fell short in one area, he felt devastated, as if his value diminished entirely. Wallace argues that such children often grow up into adults who continue to seek validation through achievement, struggling to accept themselves for who they are beyond their accomplishments. One of Wallace's most profound sections examines the impact of this never-enough mentality on mental health. She explains how the endless pursuit of more can lead to anxiety, depression, and burnout, conditions increasingly prevalent in today's society. Drawing from psychological research, Wallace highlights how a setback can deeply affect a person's self-worth, particularly in a culture that equates personal value with continuous success. When people experience a failure or stumble, be it a missed promotion, a project that doesn't go as planned, or even a social rejection, they often interpret it as a reflection of their personal inadequacy rather than viewing it as a learning moment or a minor obstacle. This tendency to internalize setbacks stems from what psychologists refer to as a fixed mindset, where abilities and worth are seen as static rather than evolving. Instead of seeing setbacks as opportunities for growth, those with a fixed mindset perceive them as indicators of failure, which can spiral into self-doubt, anxiety, or depression. To illustrate, Wallace recounts a case study involving a young entrepreneur who, after launching his business, encountered several challenges that forced him to shut down temporarily. Though the hurdles he faced were common in startups, he interpreted them as personal failures, feeling that his worth was diminished. His self-esteem plummeted because he saw the setback as proof that he was not good enough to succeed in his chosen field. This example shows how easy it is, especially in our fast-paced, competitive world, for people to conflate a singular failure with their overall value as individuals. Wallace argues that reframing these moments as part of a broader journey, not as defining failures, can provide a healthier perspective. By shifting focus to resilience and adaptability, individuals can foster a more stable self-worth, rooted in progress rather than perfection. Wallace doesn't end on a pessimistic note, however. She offers readers practical tools and mindsets to adopt to step off the achievement treadmill. Wallace emphasizes the importance of cultivating self-compassion and self-awareness. She references studies on how practicing self-compassion, viewing oneself with the same kindness one would show a friend, can alleviate the pressures of constant self-evaluation. Wallace also draws on research showing that people who practice gratitude regularly report higher levels of satisfaction as it shifts their focus from what they lack to what they have. Through these findings, she suggests that breaking the habit of endless striving requires a fundamental shift in how we measure success, encouraging readers to find contentment in personal growth, relationships, and experiences, rather than public accolades or material gains. Also at home, parents can foster a supportive home environment that prioritizes well-being and resilience over sheer accomplishment. One effective tool is to create success rituals that celebrate personal progress, regardless of external recognition or societal metrics. For instance, during family time, parents can invite their children to share something they tried hard at, regardless of the outcome, and reflect on what they learned from the experience. This helps children see that effort, resilience, and growth matter more than perfection. Parents can also set boundaries around social media use, encouraging offline activities that cultivate interests and friendships not driven by competition. By having open conversations about social media's tendency to promote unrealistic comparisons, parents can help their children understand that social media rarely shows the full story and is not a measure of one's self-worth. Lastly, prioritizing family time or one-on-one moments gives children a space where they feel valued for who they are rather than what they achieve, creating a foundation of unconditional support. At school, educators can build a classroom culture that celebrates growth, curiosity, and individual strengths rather than strict performance metrics. One approach is to adopt a growth portfolio where students track their own progress on projects or skills over time, emphasizing areas of improvement and resilience. This allows students to see how their abilities evolve through effort rather than feeling defined by single test scores or grades. By recognizing students who exhibit persistence, cooperation, or creative thinking, educators can subtly shift students' focus toward attributes that foster long-term success rather than immediate recognition. Teachers can also integrate discussions around real-world applications of learning, showing students that knowledge and skills are valuable in diverse ways. Projects that connect students with local professionals or community leaders, for example, can help demystify success and illustrate that every journey involves learning and setbacks. Such experiences show students the practical value of knowledge beyond grades and redefine success as a continual journey of growth. Wallace also suggests that a community committed to fostering healthy definitions of success can create environments where individuals feel valued beyond their achievements. Community centers, libraries, and youth groups can organize events or workshops that promote diverse interests, like arts, nature, or trades, providing young people with exposure to activities that nurture curiosity without competition. These programs give children and teens alternative spaces to explore and succeed without pressure, which reinforces a more holistic sense of self-worth. Communities can also promote mental well-being by offering resources and support networks for both young people and adults, encouraging open dialogues about stress, self-esteem, and societal pressures. Providing resources on healthy social media use, wellness, and resilience helps build a community-wide culture that emphasizes balanced achievement. Additionally, volunteer programs that encourage giving back can foster a sense of purpose that's rooted in contribution rather than personal achievement. In this way, communities help young people see success as a balance of personal well-being, growth, and social impact. In her conclusion, Wallace calls for a cultural shift that values people for who they are, not just for what they do. She encourages readers to consider their own definitions of success and to embrace a life that reflects their values, passions, and unique strengths. She invites us to imagine a world where people are seen as inherently valuable and worthy, no matter their achievements or failures. In a society that often equates worth with status, Never Enough offers a powerful reminder of the peace and fulfillment that comes from accepting ourselves as we are. Thank you so much for listening and joining us. If you enjoyed the audiobook, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more book summaries that help you expand your mind. Drop a comment below to let us know which book you'd like us to explore next, and we'll consider it for our upcoming episodes. We look forward to bringing you more valuable content right here on Page by Page. Until next time, keep learning and growing.